It was, just 36 hours ago that we were celebrating the contract extension of Christian Darrisaw, the signing of Duke Shelley, the positive vibes going into Vikings training camp, only to then be served a reminder of the brutal, cruel, violent nature of the sport of football. Mekhi Blackmon, in the first practice of Vikings training camp yesterday, tore his ACL, second year man out of USC. And I feel bad for him. You feel bad for any player, but I feel bad for him because the yellow brick road of opportunity was right there, laid out in front of his feet to be the CB3 for this team. And whether you as a defense consider yourselves a 3-4 or 4-3 base, universally speaking, based on the volume of defensive plays out of said packages, the universal base defense for all 32 teams in the league is the nickel set formation. So not only have you lost your CB3 for the year, you have lost essentially a starter. So where do you go from here? As far as what you have left over in the cornerback room, I mean, a Caleb Evans has been frustrating. Andrew Booth Jr. is a borderline bust. You're going to have to make a move. So where do you go from here? Xavier Howard is a popular name, especially as long as Brian Flores has been with this team, the connection that they had with the Miami Dolphins. But honestly, the legal dilemma that Howard is in right now, there's no way in hell that the GM and the head coach would touch that with a 10-foot pole. It goes against everything that they want, culturally speaking, within the locker room. So he's out, in my eyes anyway. You got to make do with the resources that you have available. And at this juncture in free agency, I think your best bet is Stephon Gilmore. I mean, he's right there. He recently spoke out and said there are not 64 cornerbacks in this league better than me. And even at this stage in his career, he'll be 34 this upcoming season. Last year with the Cowboys, aged 33, played in and started all 17 games, 2 interceptions, 13 pass breakups, a forced fumble, allowed a 56% completion rate, and gave up 4 touchdowns. That's not bad. You'll take that from your CB3. Or maybe if you were to sign him, maybe he even challenges Shaq Griffin for CB2. But I think that's the direction that they should go to salvage the cornerback room and have Duke Shelley as your CB4. Now we're in business. And I wish Mekhi Blackmon all the best, speedy recovery, come back even stronger next year. As far as the other tidbits I've seen from practice yesterday, the start of training camp, news break, Justin Jefferson is awesome. What else is new? Caught a 50-yard bomb from Sam Darnold. The offensive line, we know the bookend tackles are elite, but the interior offensive line, that's where the question mark lies, specifically with the 2 guard spots, because we know that Garrett Bradbury is going to be the starter, which I can't wait till we finally move on from him, hopefully after this season, also addressing defensive tackle. But it's the 2 guard spots. And initially going into training camp, I was just saying, all right, it's probably going to be a triple threat match for the 2 guard spots between Blake Brandel, Ed Ingram, and Dalton Reisner. But from what it appears to be after the first practice, and I guess you can look back in hindsight too, you know the team is very high on Blake Brandel. It seems like he has that left guard spot locked up. So instead of a triple threat match, it appears to be a mano-a-mano battle for right guard between Dalton Reisner and Ed Ingram. And quite honestly, I feel like for the sake of Sam Darnold getting better pass protection, my odds I would give to Dalton Reisner to be your starting right guard. But man, losing Mekhi Blackman, that's tough, especially not even to start the year with. The first practice of training camp. But I think, in my humble opinion, the Vikings desperately need to sign Stephon Gilmore. They're going to sign somebody, but if you're going to sign anybody, it has to be Stephon Gilmore. That's your best bet at this juncture in free agency.